Let's go. What's up? Wiki Melodies here. Tyler Sam, ready to do you an album review. And this time it's going to be of Gorod's A Perfect Absolution. Came out on Unique Leader Records in 2012. This is a technical death metal band somewhere in Europe. But, hey. You can go.
Alright. Well, the first thing I'm going to start off with is there's not like... I feel the hard thing that I have with describing death metal is trying to, pick out the things that are different from other death metal bands, whereas it's very hard to. Because I feel that death metal bands are, they usually follow, like, a sort of, they all seem to follow a formula or something. They have like, well, at least most, they have like, they're really aggressive. They use death metal riffs, where I can say, oh, they use this death metal riff, that death metal riff, but you won't really know until you listen to it. First thing about the riffs is that this band uses a lot of really good riffs, and that's all I can really say. I mean, they have good riffs. They have great riffs, very listenable riffs. Death metal drumming. Well, it's fast. It's aggressive. It's all over the place. Really talented drumming, and it's very exceptional drumming. This band has that. Vocals. What can I say? The death metal vocals. I mean, they've never been like. They're what you would kind of expect. I mean, not like they're predictable, but they're very good. But I mean, there's nothing like way outside the box or anything that's like that's brand spanking new or something like that. It's death metal vocals. The guy kicks ass vocally. I mean, I think he's very exceptional. It's one song start off with, I don't remember the song, but it's like he starts off with this really like pig squealish, really low grrr thing, and it's like
The Axe of God.
that's like damn, dang, woo, dang, whoo, ho, dang. It's like it just surprises you, It's like wow, that's death metal at its finest. And all I can really say is this is a death metal band. Are they exceptional death metal? Definitely. I think they're very good death metal. They're quite easy on the ear, I might say. I mean, I don't listen to the most death metal, or a lot of death metal, a ton of it, but, this is one of the bands that really stands out to me as being very exceptional, very listenable to me. Do they fit the formula? Sure. Do they sound like a death metal band? Yes, they have a very death metal sound. Are they aggressive? Are they angry? Are they death metal? Yes, they are. But they're very exceptional. Their riffs are supreme, I think. I enjoy their riffs very much. Like, what's track number 3? What is track number 3?
Sailing into the...
That's an amazing song. I don't remember like the names. I get mixed up in names sometimes, but I definitely remember the tracks. It's a great song. Like they just like like I said, I have trouble telling you how a death metal band is when you know how a death metal band is. But this is a very good album, and I think every member does an exceptional job of this. Whether it's playing a crazy death metal riff or aggressive drumming, crazy stamina. The drummer has crazy stamina, of course. The vocalist is good, but that's all I can really say. And I just wanted to say that like I don't. It's hard for me to talk about a death metal album. I've never been the best at it, but it's just like what you would expect death metal to sound like, but it's very top of the line. It's very top notch in my opinion. It fits the formula, but it's one of those like it looks like a horse, but it's a Kentucky Derby winner horse. You could just look at it. All right, that's a horse, but it's an award-winning horse. And that's my review.
Nice. yeah, this is a strong album, I feel. I want to say this. Unique Leader Records puts out some of the best death metal that is, like, from new bands, like, a new and upcoming band. I love Unique Leader Records, because there's just, I feel like they're so underground. Like, you listen to them, they have all these fucking slamming death metal bands, most of them being technical death metal. And, to me, this is a band that probably stands out as one of the best on Unique Leader Records. One thing I like about this band is, yeah, they're technical death metal, but they're not like Necrophagist or something, and just sweep, 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 tap, riff, 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 sweep, 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 tap, tap, riff, riff, sweep, 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 tap, tap, riff, riff. You get what I'm saying. It gets boring to hear that over and over and over and over again. This band have its really technical moments, yeah, but this band's more about the riffs, if you ask me. Like, you take the song Element and Spirit, the way they harmonize that riff is just, that riff is fucking golden. That whole song is golden. It's just, that's a catchy song, and technical death metal to me usually isn't really that catchy. But this band has kind of an element that is a little catchy to it, and that's one thing I like about this band. I just feel the whole talent level of this entire band is just fucking through the roof and all the way above the Empire State Building, you know? It's crazy, it's mind-blowing, especially the drumming. The drumming might be one of my favorite parts about this band. Just listening to that, it's just like, holy shit, how does he do that? I mean, he's like fucking everywhere, he's blasting, it's awesome, man. I love it. I love how this album breaks in with this song Birds of Sulfur, how it just breaks in with this riff, and the drummer starts blasting and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, he's gonna be blasting for a while, and that just fucking stops, kind of, and he starts like doing this fucking crazy shit, and the riff just does something crazy that you can't even follow because you're just lost because it's such a crazy riff. Like, I love how this album just punches you in the face. It just like jabs you really fast, and then it's just like, well, okay. This is like I said, this is a strong album, but if you're not really paying attention to it, it seems to kind of blend together a little bit. But if you're really paying attention to it, you're really in it. Like like the other day, I was listening to this album and I was driving to school, and I was like, fuck yeah, this song's awesome. Then go to the next song, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. And each song stood out. But I was listening to it again while I was doing something, and it all kind of seemed to blend together while I wasn't really paying attention to it. Not saying that's a huge, huge, huge problem, but I mean, that just kind of happens with technical death metal sometimes. But this is a good album, and like I said, this is a very talented band. This band has loads of potential. This band reminds me of Obscura, and I love Obscura. When it comes to technical death metal, nobody does it as good as Obscura, because Obscura can just, they make everything work so well. They're not just like your Necrophagist and just fucking do all that stuff and jerk off on their instruments, and you know, they write a song. This band writes a song, you know. Spawn of Possession writes a song, you know. I like technical death metal bands that write songs, and they're not just here to show off their talent level. I like this album from beginning to end. Like Sam said, the vocals are awesome on this album. But Sam made a good point of, like, it's good. It's not like the best thing ever. Like, if you ask, I'm trying to think how to put it. Like, I don't think the vocalist on this album is one that's like a corpse grinder from Cannibal Corpse, or the vocalist of Obscura, or hell, even, I know they're more of a progressive, but like when the singer of Opeth does his growls, you're like, okay, that's Cannibal Corpse, or that's Obscura or Opeth. Sometimes you might not be like, oh, that's the Gorod singer. But when you listen to it, you're like, wow, that's fucking sick, you know, this guy can get brutal, you know. This is just a good album, and if you like technical death metal, this is right up your alley. If you like death metal in general, this is right up your alley. But if you're not, and technical death metal is something that you just can't get into, that you might find boring, and it's just not for you, I don't see this really turning your head. although it has the possibility, this is a band that has a lot of potential to grow and definitely become better. We may be making a few points that we might not like about this album, but please don't let that make you think that we hate this album. We're taking a giant shit all over this. This is a good album. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I picked it up. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
I agree with what you said. Like, we're not saying it's bad. We both agree this album is very, very good. It's just me, I guess. I just sometimes I have a hard time, like, you know, like Tyler said. One of the best points about this review that Tyler said, the vocals. You know, I'm gonna go off. I guess if any death metal fans are watching this video, they might not like it, but like Chelsea Grin. You know, you hear Alex Kohler scream. It's high vocal, it's high screams. You know that's him, right? You know Mitch Lucker from Suicide Silence. You know Phil Bozeman, like very
Chris
recognizable.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, you're like very recognizable, but like I'm not saying this guy just gets lost in translation. He's very exceptional, but there are so many good vocalists in death metal that this guy is up there, but he's surrounded by a lot of other people that are up there. He's not in his own country somewhere. Where Phil Bozeman, he has this whole nation of Phil Bozeman over here, and then there's a very populated country of many death metal vocalists. It's something it's very, very good. I highly recommend this, but it is death metal, and that's what I'm saying. It's very death metal, but it's very good death metal. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say anything bad. It's very good.
And you never know. Maybe if this band, because Unique Leader has had some bands such as Hour of Penance or Decrepit Birth that have moved on to bigger labels, and they become better. They become more, like, when I'm listening to Polarity by Decrepit Birth, I know that's Decrepit Birth, but if I listen to an album before that, on Unique Leader Records, I'm like, wow, this is good, but if I'm not really paying attention to it and my iPod's on shuffle or something, I'm like, who the fuck is this, you know? So maybe if they move on to the Metal Blades, the Relapse, the Prosthetic Records, the Nuclear Blast Records, they'll, not only will they get bigger, but you'll be like, wow, that's the Gorod vocalist, you know? Just opinion. This is all just opinion. Any last
That's
words?
completely my opinion. Rating for the album?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It's good. It's a good listen.
Check out Gorod, A Perfect Absolution, and hopefully if you buy it, it's the fucking inside isn't broken and you can put your CD in like mine. But yeah, check it out. It's cool.